Every offseason, tons of players leave their former teams and sign with new ones, or get traded to new teams. But what if that couldn't happen? Because today, I put every NFL player back on their original team, and we are gonna see what the NFL could look like if these teams never got rid of their original players. Some teams end up worse, some teams get better, and I'm using the Carolina Panthers because they are the lowest overall team out of 75 overall. And I'm going to show what every team looks like, and then we will get right into the simulation. So super quick, I haven't been setting like goals, but I will say, if we can get to 3,000 likes on this video, it'll let me know that y'all want to see something similar to this, and I do have something super similar planned that would be a little more extreme than this, but it would be using the same roster. Again, 3,000 likes, and I will do it. Very much helps out the channel. I would appreciate it. And this is my 50,000 subscriber special. So again, massive thank you for 50K. Trying to hit 100K before the end of the year, which we are very well on pace to do. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. If you like rebuilds, you're definitely in the right place, and that is literally all I do. And last thing, no shout out for this one because this is just something I did a long time ago that I'm bringing back because it was a ton of fun. But I normally do shout outs for suggestions, so if you have any fun ideas, let me know those down below. It helps me know what y'all want to see. But without further ado, let's go over the rosters and then we will get into the simulation / rebuild. And I'll put a little timestamp on screen for a second of where you can skip to if you want to skip over this, which I would question why you would want to do that because that's kind of the point of this video, but whatever. I'll still put it. But of course, as the Carolina Panthers, we regain Christian McCaffrey, DJ Moore, James Bradbury. The Patriots regain Joe Tooney, Kenny Moore, which is a very interesting one, Shaq Mason. The Raiders regain Amari Cooper, Josh Jacobs, Khalil Mack. That's a pretty good top 3. Also, Danico Autry. I completely forgot he was there. The Rams surprisingly don't regain anyone too massive, but they do get Jared Goff back, John Franklin Myers, Cam Akers. So they pretty much undo the Jared Goff, Matthew Stafford trade. The Ravens might be one of the biggest winners from this. They regain Zadarius Smith, CJ Mosley, Matt Judon, Darius Williams, which I didn't know he was there, Geno Stone, Marquise Brown. They get a lot of players back. The Saints regain Teron Armstead, Trey Hendrickson, Marcus Williams, David Onyemata. The Seahawks get Bobby Wagner back after a month. Ethan Posick, Russell Wilson, so that should be super interesting. The Steelers get Javon Hargrave, James Conner, Deontay Johnson. The Texans get D-Hop, DJ Reader, Jadeveon Clowney. The Titans are also a very big winner, getting AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, and Kevin Byard. The Vikings have a crazy receiving group, getting Stephon Diggs, Danielle Hunter, Adam Thielen, and a few others right here. The Bears get Roquan Smith, David Montgomery, and Charles Leno as their top 3. The Bengals get Jesse Bates back, Kevin Zeitler. The Bills get Stephon Gilmore, Wyatt Teller, and Devin Singletary back. The Broncos get Justin Simmons, who I guess they could just re-sign in real life, Bradley Chubb, and Shaquille Barrett, which that's a pretty good pass rush duo. Oldish, but good. The Browns get Jabril Peppers and Baker Mayfield back. That should be super interesting too. The Buccaneers surprisingly don't get too many interesting players back, just Sean Murphy-Bunting. Oh yeah, and Jameis Winston is going to be their QB to start this out. The Cardinals get Tyrann Mathieu, Hassan Reddick, Calais Campbell, Christian Kirk. The Chargers get Keenan Allen, Mike Williams, Austin Eckler, Hunter Henry, mostly just players they just got rid of. Oh yeah, and the Kansas City Chiefs get Tyreek Hill back, of course. Also, L'Jarius Sneed, Kareem Hunt, Marcus Peters, Justin Houston. That's interesting. The Colts get Bobby Okereke back, and Malik Hooker. The Commanders get Trent Williams back, and Kendall Fuller, and Brandon Sheriff, and Montez Sweat, and Cam Curl. This is a team that's lost a lot of players, and oh yeah, Kirk Cousins is going to be their quarterback. And they get Morgan Moses and Chase Young. Oh, you should be a Panther. Or a Jet, right? I don't know. I'll give another quick look through this just in case I forgot anyone else. But the Cowboys get Tyron Smith back, Charvarius Ward, which I didn't know he was on their practice squad for, or not practice squad, but as a UDFA, he got signed by the Cowboys. But they get Tony Pollard back, Connor Williams, Chidobe Awuzie, Xavier Woods. The Dolphins get Laramie Tunsil and Minkah Fitzpatrick, and Christian Wilkins, and Andrew Van Ginkel. The Eagles get Raheem Mostert back, and Rasul Douglas, Jordan Poyer, TJ Edwards. The Falcons get Calvin Ridley back, Foye Oluokun. The 49ers get DeForest Buckner. I guess I could put Kyle Juszczyk back on the Ravens, but it's fullback. I will do that, though. DJ Reed, Trent Brown, Eric Armstead, Jimmy Ward. They've lost a lot of players. Did I just forget to do linebackers? Probably. The Giants get Saquon Barkley, Xavier McKinney, Odell Beckham Jr., Evan Ingram. The Jags get Jalen Ramsey, Mike Hilton, who I also forgot was with the Jags for a short amount of time. The Jets get Demario Davis. Geno Smith is going to be their quarterback. They also have Sam Darnold and Zach Wilson still. Quincy Williams, I think, should be on the Jags. My fault. Leonard Williams, Blake Cashman, Jamal Adams, Bryce Huff. The Lions get Darius Slay, TJ Hawkinson, Matthew Stafford is their quarterback again. The Packers are definitely one of the big winners from this, getting Devontae Adams, Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, David Bakhtiari, Corey Linsley, Micah Hyde. Lots of good players. Older players, but good players. And that was the last one. So I'll get all those players I noticed figured out. I'll give it a quick look through again, and then we'll get into this simulation. Okay, I got everyone sorted out. Everyone should be on the right team now, hopefully. But let's get to the midseason point of year one, and we will see who some of the best and worst teams are. I'm assuming we're going to be one of the worst, although we are up to a 78 overall for some reason now, so we'll see. Why are we a 78? Who knows? Okay, well, at the midseason, we are 3-3. The Buccaneers are leading our division at 4-2, and the Falcons are only 1-6, which makes sense, because unless they signed a quarterback, I mean, yeah, no, they have Desmond Ridder, so that's unlucky. But let's see who some of the best and worst teams are right now. So the Cowboys, unsurprisingly, are the highest, or have the best record in the NFL at 6-0. I guess there are a few 6-win teams like the Bills, Raiders, and Rams. The Rams weren't like an exceptionally good overall, so that's kind of surprising. And the Broncos are the worst team at 0-7. I believe they had Drew Lock at quarterback. The Bears, Jags, Falcons, and Jets are all 1-5. Yeah, this makes sense. I mean, some of these teams aren't currently bad, but they have been bad in the recent future because of bad drafting, partially. So this makes sense. The Vikings are also down here, Giants, Seahawks. The 49ers are surprisingly down here, same with the Dolphins. Definitely some interesting stuff happening right now. I did see some pretty good players got cut. I think Shaq Mason was the best one, but there are some other decent players sitting here. Mostly older guys. But let's just get straight to the end of the year, and we will see how the entire NFL finishes, with everyone back on their original team. And then we'll get into the rebuild part, and we're going to try and fix this Panthers team. Okay, well, we finished 7-10, which is honestly better than, I thought the lowest overall team in the league would do. I don't think we're the lowest overall anymore. But the Buccaneers finished 12-5 with Jameis Winston, and the Falcons went 5-12. What should we check first, the records or the stats? We'll go with records. So the Cowboys do stay the best team at 15-2. It's pretty much the same teams up here, just the Chiefs were the second best team in the league, pretty much unsurprising. The Commanders, that actually makes sense. It's kind of surprising to me how many good players they've had, and they just got rid of. So that definitely makes sense that they're up there. They've definitely had some players. And then the worst team in the league was the Broncos at 2-15. The Bears went 4-13. The Falcons and Texans were both pretty bad. The Texans kind of surprises me. I mean, I guess they're just another one of those teams that were bad for a long time. But Jets, Dolphins, I guess the Dolphins kind of are the same way. The Browns, but the Browns have a pretty good roster. I'm surprised they're down here. And the 49ers only 6-11. The Eagles only 7-10. Interesting. But let's check out some of the statistical leaders for the NFL. So it looks like Dak Prescott led the team in yards and probably touchdown passes. Or no, Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow might win MVP. He was very good. Aaron Rodgers did pretty well back on the Packers. Jared Goff back on the Rams did pretty well. Jake Browning on the Vikings did well. Well, pretty well. That's a decent amount of picks. Baker Mayfield back on the Browns. Russell Wilson back on the Seahawks was interesting. A lot of touchdown passes, but also a lot of picks and not a very good completion percentage. Let's check passer rating. Kirk Cousins was very good. Kenny Pickett, Jameis Winston, definitely not the players I expected to do well on their new former teams, or I don't even know what to call it, back on their teams, we'll just say. For rushing, it was about what you would expect for this game. Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, Jonathan Taylor. Definitely a lot of players going back to former teams, but teams they were just on like a month ago in real life, like Henry, Jacobs, Barkley, Jones. And for receiving, CeeDee Lamb blew everybody out of the water with 1,800 yards and 21 touchdowns. Tyreek Hill back on the Chiefs did really well. Devontae Adams back on the Packers did really well, unsurprisingly. Jacoby Myers back on the Patriots did very well. Same with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen. Donovan Peoples-Jones had 1,100 yards. Okay. Juju had 1,000 yards and 12 touchdowns back on the Steelers. For tackles, probably the most overrated stat in the NFL, but Bobby Okereke, 132. Same with Roquan. Do we really care about tackles for loss? I don't know. Shaq Barrett had 20. He also only had 2.5 sacks. And Max Crosby shatters the sack record, 26.5. Also, Khalil Mack with 14.5. Was that 41 sacks between two players? Good lord. I've had an entire, like, decent defense get 8 because EA. And then interception 6 for Derek Stingley led the league, 5 for TJ Edwards, which is a little surprising, 5 for Stephon Gilmore, 4 for Tyrann Mathieu, Xavier Howard, CJ Gardner-Johnson, PJ Williams? Didn't they have Marcus Williams? Oh, PJ Williams probably started in the slot, I guess. I don't know. Jarrett Stidham ended up being the starter for the Saints at QB and was not great. Oh yeah, and last thing before we get into the rebuild, let's see who won MVP. It goes to Joe Burrow. Now, who is the highest mover on here? Jared Goff at number 10. I'm kind of surprised we didn't have someone higher. Like, I feel like Kirk Cousins did better than Jared Goff, but whatever. And no movers for offensive or defensive player of the year for either side. It's, of course, just 2 Cowboys for the NFC. But let's get into the offseason and let's see who wins the Super Bowl this year. Well, we just can't escape the Chiefs-Cowboys Super Bowl. The Chiefs do beat the Cowboys 27-21. Understandable, though. I would guess that they're the 2 highest overall teams. The Ravens have an 87, but the Cowboys do have an 89 overall team. The Chiefs are only an 85, but I mean, I think they're like tied for 3rd, so that's understandable. The Ravens did have a higher overall team, though, in the AFC. And let's finally get into rebuilding this team. So we'll pick up the 5th year for JC Horn, obviously, and that's pretty much all we have to do. And let's see if there's anyone we want to add in free agency. But in free agency, it isn't a very good class, because most of the players, when you move them, you have to sign them to multi-year deals outside of franchise. So most players were just kept by the teams they got signed to. But we're going to go for Michael Pierce and Azeez Al-Shaair. We're going to try to make this defense good. I don't think that was the problem of our team. No, our offense was a lot worse. Because I did focus scout defensive tackle. The other position I set was O-line, or interior O-line, but it said it was a weak class, so I just went defensive tackle. But we're going to be signing Michael Pierce. Maybe we shouldn't sign Michael Pierce, but we will still need one more D lineman. Let me see if there's a good O lineman too that isn't super old. This is a really hard team to rebuild because it's not good and it's not young. Cesar Ruiz, sure, he has star dev, why not? All right, these are the 3 players we're gonna go for. Let's see if we can sign them. And it looks like we get Pierce and Ruiz. Al-Shaair doesn't sign yet. Does he want to sign now? Still no? How about now? Okay, and he does. So no like major upgrades, but 3 pretty good additions, and that's pretty much all we could do for this offseason. So let's get to the draft. Hopefully it's a good class because we definitely need it. But here in the draft, we pick at 25. I may or may not have forgotten that the Panthers don't have a 1st round pick, and I may or may not have stolen a 1st from the Jags for Quincy Williams. But we'll see who's available here. There were some pretty good looking players. Okay, Donatello Anderson is still available. He is a very, very good guard. Top 5 talent in the class. Also, Donatello is an insane name. He's a Ninja Turtle. I feel like a Ninja Turtle would make a pretty good offensive lineman. You know what I mean? I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, the good corner's gone, and the good pass rusher's gone. Okay, there was a really good-looking speed rusher. So we are definitely gonna go with Donatello Anderson. Crazy name, but 4 elite traits at the Combine, 1 great and 1 good. His power isn't the best, but it's still pretty good, and then pretty much everything else is an A. So we're gonna take him. Hidden Dev, 92 strength, sounds good. That was a quick way to fix our offensive line, and now I have no idea what I'm gonna do. We honestly could take a center. JJ Shelton looks really good. Ooh, and I'm between 2 players here. I think we're either gonna go with Craig Bowman, who we know is a 1st to 2nd round talent. He does look pretty good. He's pretty fast, really strong, really good ratings. Not the best run defender, but that's fine. That's not his type. Or we'll go with JJ Shelton. Who do I think has the best chance of being available in the 3rd round? That's pretty much what this comes down to. Who's projected to go first? Shelton. Bowman's all the way down here. Bowman's the last 2nd to 3rd round projection. Okay, well, we'll really make this offensive line good. The reason I do like Shelton is because I always look for the players that are like a certain archetype. Like, he's an agile. I like to look for the ones that aren't bad at the other one. He has B pass block power, hopefully good run block power, so I think he'll be a good player. Plus, he's only 21 years old. Let's take him. Okay, we might have got two really good linemen. Another hidden dev with 92 strength and good speed, good movement ability. We'll take it. And let's hope Coleman is still available. I think that was his name. I thought he was going to go one pick before us. Let's see if he is still here. Or no, it was Bowman, and he is still available. Okay, this is a pretty good draft. We'll take him. Only normal dev. That's really surprising. But hey, I think he's a good overall. We'll take it. That felt like a really good first draft. But here's how we did in the draft. We did pretty well. Donatello Anderson was an 82 overall at left guard. I mean, I figured with him being a top 5 talent, usually if there is a really good guard, they are like an 82. I don't know why that is, but that seems like that's always the overall. And he was the best player in the class. That's huge. Absolute steal for the end of the first round. But Shelton was very good too at a 77. Bowman was good. I mean, we knew that though. We knew he was a first to second round talent in the third round. I actually made almost every pick in this draft except for Gregory, which he also looks pretty good. Dev trait? No dev trait. But Darden had a hidden dev. Could go up at defensive end in overall. No, he goes down. Okay, well, but Justin Mumfree in the 5th round, he'll be our starting tight end this year. Almost forgot that we needed a tight end, but we did have a lot of needs, to be fair. And then I think Southward had hidden dev, so he could be a future starter. I kind of thought he would be a higher overall. It said he had A to C man coverage, and he was listed as a man corner, so I was hoping it would be really good, but just 70, so probably a C. But he's fast. I don't normally go over this many players in drafts, or at least talk about them, but there's like a good chance that almost everybody here will be a starter for this team in the near future. But let's get into year 2, and we will see how our team's looking. And I think every year we're still gonna check, you know, team records, all that kind of stuff, to keep it about us and see how the rest of the league goes with every team back with their original players. Okay, and wait, actually, I'm gonna do this while I remember it. Question of the day. Let me know this down in the comments. This is a very random question of the day, but I just saw the Broncos sign Calvin Throckmorton, and he was wearing the Oilers Titans uniforms. So question of the day, what do you think is the best uniform in the NFL? Because I'm not gonna lie, I kind of like the Oilers jerseys. I just really love light blue for some reason as a look for jerseys. Like, I really like the powder blue Chargers and all of them like that. But let me know in the comments, what is your favorite uniform in the NFL? I also might be biased, but I really like the Seahawks throwbacks. I think I like the Titans more, so maybe that's anti-biased. I don't know, but it's close. But here's a look at the team heading into year 2. Much improved from last year. We're up to an 82 overall with, honestly, a pretty great looking offense. Almost everybody has a dev trait that is starting for us. The only one is Curtis Samuel that doesn't. And we'll see what these dev traits are. Honestly, there's a chance that Mumfree, Shelton, and Anderson have superstar dev. I mean, now that I said that, they're all gonna have star, but they could all have superstar technically. A lot of the time, blocking tight ends have a good dev trait, and then just good overall linemen usually do have a good dev trait too. Again, I shouldn't have said that, but I'm just pointing it out that there's a chance. And then the defense is pretty much the same, just with Bowman and Azeez Al-Shaair. I feel like I've pronounced his name differently every single time. How do you say his last name? I've heard it pronounced, is it just Shair or Shair, or I guess those are similar, but whatever. Or Shair, I don't know. Who cares? Let's get to the midseason point of year 2, and we will see how we're doing and how the rest of the NFL is doing. Okay, well, we are 4-2 at the midseason. It looks like the Falcons are still horrible, unfortunately for them. And let's once again see who some of the best teams in the league are, and the worst. So the Packers are the best team in the league this year, undefeated at 7-0. The Bills, Cowboys, Chiefs still up here, Ravens. The Jags and Giants are both good this year. And this game hates me. The Seattle Seahawks are the worst team in the league at 0-7. The Patriots are also bad. The Bengals are bad. And the Eagles. That's really weird. Oh yeah, and I want to check what should I check it now, or should I check at the end of the year? Our dev traits. We'll save it for the end of the year, because I don't know if all of them are going to be revealed yet. Ooh, and thankfully wide receiver and corner are both strengths in this class. That's huge. Also, I'm curious. The Packers have the best overall in the league right now. What is their overall? They're an 85. Okay, they're good. There are definitely some better teams, but they're at least good. And I want to see who has the lowest overall in the league right now. So I think it's a tie between the Jags, surprisingly. I say surprisingly because they regained some good players. The Cardinals are also an 80, and the Broncos are also an 80, and the Bears, and the Rams, so it's a big tie for last place. But last thing before we get to the end of the year, who do we have to re-sign? Anyone important? Oh, Derek Brown. We'll definitely re-sign him. We'll go 4 years, 103 mil. He takes it. Shaq Thompson. I don't want to give him a 4-year deal. We'll go 2 years, 25. He takes it. Chuba Hubbard, we don't really need anymore. I'd rather not pay a number 2 running back. And then pretty much everyone else here is just backups. So let's get to the end of the season and we will see what kind of record we finish with. And we'll see what kind of dev traits we got for our good players. Okay, well, we finish 11-6 and we make the playoffs. So far, we've done pretty well with this team, and something interesting. Look at our division standings. The Falcons finished 10-7 despite being, what, 2-5 at the midseason? And the Buccaneers only went 4-13 despite being one of the best teams in the league last year and decent at the midseason this year. Ooh, they have a new QB, Will McDougald. Maybe they should go back to Jameis, I don't know, but he does have X Factor. He wasn't that great. I would say Jameis was a little better. But let's check out our season stats. I don't think I'm going to go over the entire league stats again. I'll just see if there's anything interesting, and I'll point it out if there is. But Bryce Young, almost 4,000 yards, 28 touchdowns, only 8 picks, 71% completion percentage, 1,111 passer rating. He was very good. Christian McCaffrey, 1,700 yards, 18 touchdowns. DJ Moore, 1,400 yards, 17 touchdowns. We had some very big performers on offense this year. Our blocking was very good. Shaq Thompson, 132 tackles, TFLs 19 for Brown, 17 for Bowman as a rookie. And sacks, 8 for Brian Burns, we'll take it, 7.5 for Derek Brown and Craig Bowman. See, here's the thing. I don't know how many rookies ended up starting this year. It could actually be a lot, so we might get Defensive Rookie of the Year with Craig Bowman. We'll see. I don't know. Amari Barno actually did pretty well. 5 sacks in 700 snaps. I've seen a lot worse. Why did Gross Matos get so many more tackles than Barno in less snaps? That's weird. But interceptions, 2 for Dante Jackson and JC Horn, and then 1 for a couple players. But MVP goes to Mahomes. Big shocker there. Bryce Young at number 10. Any movers up here? It looks like Aaron Rodgers must have retired, so Jordan Love is the new starter for the Packers. We get number 2 and 3 for Offensive Player of the Year. We get double cucked. Brandon Ayuk wins it. How many McDougalds were there this year? Brian McDougald for the Eagles wins Offensive Rookie of the Year. Mumphrey at number 8 and Defensive Rookie of the Year. This game hates me. Dwayne Middlebrooks wins it for the Bears. Bowman at number 2, of course. It looks like Matthew Stafford did pretty well for the Lions this year. Desmond Ridder actually did well. I forgot. He's pretty good in this game when he gets an opportunity. Jake Browning was all right. Not many touchdown passes, but also not many picks. Mac Jones back on the Patriots did okay. Derek Carr must have gotten benched. They went with Aiden O'Connell for the rest of the year, and he was pretty good. Derek Carr didn't do bad, though. I'm surprised they benched him, because he's still a much higher overall, a 77 to 73. Okay, and honestly, I kind of just wanted to check the QBs. I feel like that's the most interesting part. Khalil Mack had 17 sacks this year, still an insane duo between him and Max Crosby. Nobody super interesting with a lot of picks. I mean, I guess Terrell Edmonds had 4, DJ Reed had 4, Jerome Baker had 4, and Jordan Poyer, those are all players back on old teams. TJ Edwards had 5. He's gotten, 10 picks in the last 2 years? But let's see who the best and worst teams were in the league this year. So the Cowboys, unsurprisingly, had the best record. The Bills, Packers, 49ers, and Chiefs all went 13-4. The Broncos, I think the worst team last year, went 10-7. And let's see who the worst teams were this year. So the Seahawks, of course, were the worst. The Patriots were tied. The Buccaneers were bad. We knew that. Cardinals and Commanders and Colts were all down here. Browns and Bengals. I feel like these 3 teams, or I guess these 4 right here, were pretty surprising. Or 5 if you count the Eagles. I feel like I kind of thought all these teams would do well. They all were pretty good on paper. But now back to the Panthers. We have a first of many scenario. Should give us some staff points. We'll take it. Oh yeah, and I don't know if I ever showed the dev traits, did I? It is pretty much what I expected, kind of. So Anderson is superstar, I figured. But Shelton has superstar. I thought that could happen. But Mumphrey only has star. I figured we would get 2 superstars and 1 star, though. I just kind of thought Mumphrey would have superstar, Anderson would have superstar, and I thought Shelton would have star, but we'll take 2 superstar devs for sure. And he has an upgrade now up to an 81, or an 82 with morale. And did we really have anyone on defense that got any playing time? I guess Southward did get playing time. He only had star. Darden, we'll see, but that was a very, very, very good draft class. But without further ado, let's just simulate this game out against the Falcons. I don't think we're gonna win. We did just get kind of smoked by them 21-10, but we'll see what happens. You never never know. And we do win 26-20. Surprising. We had the best offense in the league this year for yards. We had like one of the worst last year, and it didn't really, I guess our O-line got better, but I don't know if it should have made that much of a difference. We'll take it though. This year our defense was pretty horrible, but I think we were about deserving of 11-6 at an 85 overall team. Maybe a little better, but I don't know. We have some upgrades though. Oh, Connor Weddington, huge. We get 7 staff points. We'll take it. Some sweet, juicy staff points. And let's see if we can take down the Lions in the divisional. A lower overall team than us, but we'll see what happens. We do win another very close game, 25-24. Okay, and we have some important upgrades here. Derek Brown and Craig Bowman, 2 D linemen. And hopefully Bowman can get a dev trait, even though he didn't win Defensive Rookie of the Year. We'll see. He definitely deserves it. I just don't know if he will get it, but I think our playoffs could be coming to an end here. We're going to be taking on the 89 overall Dallas Cowboys. I don't have much hope here. And no, we do lose 41-35, but that's fair. They were the much better team. And who would have guessed it? Do y'all understand why I say the Chiefs-Cowboys Super Bowl happens too much in this game? I mean, both good teams, obviously. The Chiefs deserve to be there. The Cowboys haven't been in a Super Bowl in I don't even know how long, and they lose 35-17 here. I'm not a Cowboys hater, but it's just not realistic. That's all I'm saying. But for re-signings, we'll pick up the 5th year for Ike Ekwonu, and then I think we're just gonna let everybody else go. Did anyone here get a dev trait? I don't think so. Ooh, oh, it's Trey Turner, never mind. Oh yeah, we also had Matt Corral. That's kind of fun. He did pretty well in the UFL yesterday. Or I guess that was 2 days ago at the time of recording this, but I feel like the UFL looked pretty good. It looked better than I think the XFL and USFL like individually. I mean, that's what'll happen if you combine both of them. You get the best players playing from those 2 leagues, but it looked pretty good. Also, Kai Nakua, Puka Nakua's brother, did pretty well at safety. I wasn't sure, but it was pretty fun. But in free agency, it isn't that good. I mean, there are some decent players, but it's like kickers, fullbacks, running backs, like But there are a couple players we are gonna go for. It's gonna be Nico Collins, which I don't think we can get him, but we might as well try. We're tied for the lead. I think I went player friendly, so maybe he'll sign with us. And then Aziz Ajulari. We're adding another Aziz. I didn't even notice that. That's not like a super important signing, but he has star dev, so sure. He'll be like a good 3rd or 4th pass rusher if we do get him. But honestly, we might not get either of these players. We're just tied for the lead for both of them. I don't really care if we don't get Ajulari, but hopefully we get Nico Collins. They both sign, and we don't get either of them. Nico Collins goes to the Broncos, and Ajulari goes to the Seahawks. You hate to see it. Well, I tried. Let's get to the draft. And this year in the draft, we pick at number 29 because we, of course, did pretty well last year. The Seahawks have the number 1 pick. I should also check what some of the other teams do. Like, the number 1 pick last year was a quarterback to the Broncos. We'll check what some of the top teams do this year. But I might go with a corner this year. We'll see. Barry Andrews looks pretty good. What's his speed? His speed's okay. On paper, he does look really good, though. All right, let me look through, and we will see what we're gonna do. Okay, yeah, I think we'll just go with Barry Andrews. There is also Enrique Hughes, who looks pretty good. I don't know. This is kind of tough. See, the thing is, Hughes is 2 years younger and has better speed and acceleration. Or I guess they have the same speed, but Hughes has much better acceleration. But Andrews has A-man and A-press. Hughes only has B-man and B-press. But Andrews, at best, has B-zone. He could have C or D, and Hughes for sure has B. This is tough. I don't know what to do. They probably both have the same awareness and play rec, or at least similar. I think Andrews is the better overall, but Hughes is 2 years younger, and I think I'm gonna value that. Yeah, we'll go with Enrique Hughes. Hidden dev, 91 speed, 93 excel. We'll take it. Again, I think the other corner is gonna be better, but Hughes is younger, so I think he eventually will be better. Unless our guy has star and the other guy has superstar, which there isn't really anything I can do about that. I don't know. Ooh, I should have dug deeper. Tevin Henning looks crazy. You know, we do need a safety too. And I don't really love the rest of this class, honestly, for pretty much like every other position. There's a good receiver in Jason Yankee, but I think we can find another good receiver later. Yeah, let's also go with Tevin Henning, also only 21 years old, great speed and acceleration, A-man, B-zone, hopefully A-press, could be because he's a man corner, I don't know. Let's take him. Another hidden dev, 94 speed, we'll take it. I don't think either of those corners are going to be an 80 overall. I think Henning's better. Henning could be close to an 80, we'll see. Ooh, and DeAndre Griffith at defensive tackle, 42 bench reps, we might have to take him. Like I said, I don't really see many good players left. That one first-round talent receiver did go, so like, most of these guys didn't look great. Matthew Hilton looks okay. I don't know. D carrying for a playmaker is receiver isn't great. Sure, let's go with DeAndre Griffith, another 21-year-old. There are a lot of them here. I'm sure there's a joke to be made there that I'm not funny enough to make, but let's go with DeAndre Griffith out of Utah as our last pick. He's also 352 pounds. Another hidden dev. I'm surprised he has hidden. Normally, the really big defensive tackles don't have hidden, but he does, so we'll take it. Last year, we pretty much went all offense, and this year we went all defense. Okay, definitely not as good of a draft as last year, but still good. Hughes is only a 76, but Henning is a 78. I was right, Henning was better, so I'm glad we got both. We'll put one of them at safety, I think. Let me see, would they both start at corner? They might. It depends on how much Bradbury and Jackson regressed. Okay, no, just Henning would start at corner. I don't know, I'll check in a second who's better at safety. Or I guess who goes down the least from corner to safety. But Griffith is only a 72. I'm kind of surprised. I thought he would be a little better, but I mean, that's still not bad. We have a lot of D linemen now. And then my last pick was Harry Cartwright. He's a 70 overall with hidden dev, another 21-year-old, and he has 98 speed in Excel and 99 agility. He also has 88 spec catch. This would be an insane player if you were actually playing games. This dude is crazy. Not the best hands or medium route running, but pretty good overall. Very good at certain things. Oh yeah, and I want to see what was the overall of the corner I didn't go with. So the number one pick was Jermaine Temple to the Seahawks, a quarterback, at an 81 overall. That was definitely a good pick. What school did that say he's from? Oh, Arizona State. That's interesting. Well, there was a very good guard, an 83 overall, Roy McKenzie. Okay, and Andrews was 1 overall higher than Hughes. Does he have a dev trait? He does, but our guy is 2 years younger, so I would take 2 years over, or 2 years younger over 1 overall better. So I would definitely say we made the right pick. But the Seahawks definitely had a really good draft, getting both of them with their first 2 picks. But let's get into year 3, and we will see how the league is looking this year. But here's a look at the team. We are up to an 85 overall, 87 offense, 84 defense. Not much to say with this offense. I mean, it's not too different from last year, just we added Cartwright, and that's pretty much the only difference. Also, McCaffrey mentored Yancey at running back. The CPU just picked him, gave him star dev, so I guess that's cool. I don't know how much that's going to matter, though. And then here's a look at the defense. I ended up putting Hughes at safety because he's a lower overall. He's only a 74, and Henning would have been a 76, but Henning was only a 72 zone free safety, and that's our scheme fit. Hughes is also only a 72, but he does actually count as a scheme fit for our defense. I guess that doesn't even really matter, but I don't know. He's closer to being a scheme fit than Henning, so I just put him at free safety. Plus, they both dropped the same amount. They both dropped 2 overall. Overall, the defense is looking really good, though. The only concern I have is our pass rush. I mean, we'll see how Amari Barno does. We're assuming Brian Burns will do well. Should I start Southward over Nah, we'll keep Jackson, but I'll make Southward the number 4 corner. Oh yeah, and Bowman did get star dev. That's cool. Does it tell me why he got it, or no, it just says he got plus star dev. Hey, we'll take it either way. Oh yeah, and I actually want to check out before the year who some of the highest and lowest overall teams are in the league. So it looks like, surprisingly, the Rams are still the lowest overall team in the league. Maybe Matthew Stafford retired by this point, I don't know, but they're only an 80 overall, and the Titans are also tied with them. It looks like they still have their good players, though. I don't know what's going wrong for them. They still have AJ Brown and Derrick Henry. And the highest overall team is a tie, I think. It's the Kansas City Chiefs at an 89, and the 49ers also at an 89. The Chiefs are slightly better, though. Their offense and defense average out at like an 89.5. because they have a 92 offense. That's 3 overall better than the 49ers, and their defense is only 2 overall lower. So I think the Chiefs are the best team. So it'll probably be a Chiefs-Cowboys Super Bowl again. But let's get to the midseason point. Hopefully we do well, but it looks like we were pretty horrible in the preseason. We went 0-3. In real life, that wouldn't matter, but kind of seems like if you have a bad preseason, you don't really do well in the regular season. We'll see. Let's get to the midseason point, and we'll see how we do. Okay, well, we are 6-1 at the midseason. We have an upgrade for Tevin Henning, too. We'll take it. What's his dev trait? Just star. Okay, well, I guess it's better than normal. But let's see if we got any other good dev traits or if they're just star. Okay, well, Hughes also, unfortunately, just has star. I'm kind of surprised about that. I thought for sure one would have superstar, but it is what it is. And then I think that was really all we had for dev traits in terms of starters. We had Cartwright, but, you know, he's a backup. Griffith is a backup. Oh, well, it's better than hitting all normals. But yeah, we're doing very well. We're 6-1. We have a top 5 offense and defense in terms of scoring. Although our defense is kind of bad for yards per game, which is weird. We do lead the league in takeaways. We're third in sacks, so we're good for the most part, just not yards. Our pass D is really terrible, which I mean would make sense because, I don't know, that's kind of weird. We don't have a bad secondary at all. Interesting. But once again, let's see who some of the best and worst teams are so far. Or you know what? We'll just wait until the end of the year. I think that's better than checking at the midseason. But the Chiefs are the best team right now. We're second though, so we'll take it. I don't know if we should be that good, but we are definitely one of the best teams. I just don't know about second. In terms of overall, I mean. But in terms of re-signings, we have a lot. we have most of our team. Oh God. Okay, well, let's start with DJ Moore. We'll just go down the list. We'll offer him player-friendly, 5 years, 137 mil, and he takes it. Christian McCaffrey isn't interested. Unfortunate. We'll go 5 years, 124 mil, and he takes it. Cool. That's kind of surprising. Brian Burns, 4 years, 86 mil. He doesn't take it. I just hit my mic. That probably sounded great. JC Horn will go 4 years, 51 mil. He takes it. Jeremy Chin isn't interested. Same with Dante Jackson and Taylor Moton. Curtis Samuel's a little interested, but he's going to be 30. Honestly, for most of these guys back here, we're good. I definitely want Taylor Moton and Jeremy Chin back. Do I want Jeremy Chin back? I feel like we could upgrade at safety. Taylor Moton I at least want back. I'm stupid. I was thinking this was 32 mil per year. No, it's 22 or 23.4. Is that what it is? Yeah, 23.4. I would do this if he wants to take it, and he doesn't. Cool. I think we might be able to tag him though. We'll see. But let's just get straight to the end of the year, and we will see how we finish and what happens with the rest of the league. Okay, well, here we are at the end of the year, and super quick before I reveal how we did and how the rest of the NFL did. If you haven't already, of course, be sure to leave a like on the video if you want to see something similar to this, but like I said, a little more extreme. It would probably take me an eternity to do. Be sure to leave a like on the video to let me know. Again, 3,000 likes and I'll do it. Which, by the way, speaking of taking forever, I was wanting to get this video out on Saturday. It's going to come out on Tuesday. This roster, it took me, I don't even know how many hours to set up. So again, be sure to like the video. It helps out the channel. I would appreciate it. I thought it would take a while, but I did it a quicker way. Like, I didn't go through every single depth player. Like, I only did players like 67 overall and above, because, like, you know, the 66s and lower wouldn't play any impact. I definitely was able to set it up quicker than the last time I did this, but it still took forever. Now that I have it set up, though, I definitely want to use it again, so yeah. And of course, subscribe for more if you like rebuilds, because that's all I do. This isn't exactly a full rebuild, but still like 50% rebuild. So if you liked this video so far, you'll definitely like all my other videos. But anyways, in year number 3, we finished 14-3, and we easily made the playoffs. The Panthers playbooks are very good in this game, especially their offense. They used to be one of the most like broken teams in franchise, but you know, they kind of fell off as the season went on because they became so bad in real life. So their team overall became worse, and it made them not as good. But now that we gave them an actual good team, we went 14-3. Like, it was very, very good. But first, let's go over our season stats. We'll see how we did. Bryce Young was very good once again, 3,700 yards, 30 touchdowns, only 3 picks, 73%, lots of threes, 73% completion percentage. Christian McCaffrey was very good, also 10 touchdowns for Yancey. That's interesting. Curtis Samuel was our leading receiver with 1,000 yards. I wish it wasn't. I think I forgot to put DJ Moore as the slot receiver. That's probably why, which that shouldn't really matter, but this game just always uses the slot receiver the most for most offenses. The blocking was insanely good. Shaq Thompson, 124 tackles at the team. TFLs, I thought we had 0. I pressed X twice, it just didn't sort it right. Oh, I see interesting things. Okay, 16 TFLs for Bowman led the team, and sacks 17.5 from Derek Brown, and only 5.5 from Brian Burns. How many sacks does... I'm not very, like, kept up with stats in real life. I'm never really looking at them. Yeah, Derek Brown only had 2 sacks in real life this year. He had 103 tackles as a 3-4 D end. He had a pick? Oh yeah, I think I remember that. So yeah, I wouldn't exactly say 17.5 sacks is realistic for him. He's had 8 through 4 years, so maybe on his career he'll have 17.5 sacks, but it's not really his game. It's more run defense. This game is something else. And then interceptions, 4 for Thompson, 3 for Jackson. I'm gonna feel bad letting him go. Not really though, he only had 3 pass deflections. And then 2 picks for Henning. As a rookie, he did pretty well as a rookie. 3 TFLs, a sack, 2 picks, 5 pass deflections, 88 tackles, Could be up there for Defensive Rookie of the Year, but probably not going to win it. But MVP goes to Mahomes for the third year in a row. Awesome. Bryce Young at number 8, and Davis Mills is now the quarterback for the Vikings. That is something. Jake Browning was doing pretty well, but wait, that just clicked in my brain. Davis Mills was up here for MVP, not just the quarter. Why did that just click in my brain? Like, I was just thinking, oh, Davis Mills is the Vikings quarterback now. No, he was up there for MVP too. That's something. Offensive Player of the Year goes to Brandon Ayuk again. McCaffrey at number 6. I'm surprised he was all the way down at 6. Defensive Player of the Year goes to Aiden Hutchinson for the NFC. I see Hassan Reddick back on the Cardinals up there at number 3, and Derek Brown at number 4. I almost missed him. I'm surprised he wasn't higher, but whatever. Shaq Thompson at 9. Offensive Rookie of the Year goes to... Jermaine Temple. It goes to Jermaine Temple, the number 1 pick to the Seahawks. We get number 2 for an award again. Yancey at number 2. I mean, I didn't expect him to win it, but number 2 again. Number 2 again. Why? Why does that happen to me so much? Every year, with every Rookie of the Year award, we get number 2. Why? This game hates me. Let's go super quick and see if there was anything goofy other than, of course, the Davis Mills up there for MVP. Desmond Ritter's becoming really good for the Falcons. What's his overall? Only a 76, but he does have star dev. He's playing a lot better than a 76 should. Sam Howell doing really well back on the Commanders. I don't know what they did with Kirk Cousins. Derek Carr, after getting benched last year, did really well. Mac Jones did well. Matt Stafford did well. Still hasn't retired, so I don't know why they were such a low overall. Kenny Pickett did pretty well. Where did Kirk Cousins go? Did he just retire? He isn't that old. Huh, who knows? Baker's a backup now. They have Devontae Lindley, who didn't do very well, but he has superstar dev. Wasn't Baker doing well? Pretty well. That's a lot of picks, though. I feel like it's always the teams that don't need a QB that pick a QB. Christian McCaffrey was number 2 for rushing yards, though. That's fun. Did CeeDee Lamb lead the league in receiving 3 years in a row? I think I forgot to look last year. Max Crosby leads the league in sacks again. With Khalil Mack at number 2, what is this duo? Max Crosby has had like 70 sacks throughout the last 3 years. What is this? Wait, that might be 70 on the dot. That might be 69 and a half. Let me see what that is. It's 70 and a half. I mean, he's good, but that's a little bit stupid. Same with Khalil Mack. Bobby Okereke was very good this year, though. But let's see who the best and worst teams in the league were. Are we number 1? Well, we're tied for number 1. We are 14-3, and so are the Chiefs. The 49ers are really good. The Cowboys, Buccaneers. And the worst team this year was the Saints. The Seahawks are still down there. The Lions are down there. I guess they had a really bad team on paper, but the Jets, Texans, Broncos, kind of been the same teams. And let's see who we are going to be taking on in the divisional. We're going to lose this game. It's the 9-8, only 81 overall LA Rams. How did they make the playoffs? They're an 81 overall. Obviously, no more Aaron Donald in real life or this world, so that's tough for them, but they still somehow make the playoffs and get past the wild card. How did they make the playoffs? Look at their stats. What? They had like a bottom 5 offense and like a bottom 10 to 12 defense, and they went 9-8? Oh, okay. Well, let's see what happens in this game. Yeah, we lose. Why? 35-24. That might be the worst loss I've ever seen. That looked like one of the worst teams this year. There's an Oregon corner named Carlos Dunlap. That's something. Well, this was definitely a season. Let's get into the off-season. Are you serious? We are 3 for 3 on Chiefs-Cowboys. Like... I hate to complain about the game so much, but like, are we for real here? The same Super Bowl 3 years in a row? Has it been the same winner 3 years in a row? Did the Chiefs win it every year? Dog. They did. They're back-to-back-to-back winners over the Cowboys. Do y'all understand why I complain about this game so much? I'm gonna like forcibly retire Patrick Mahomes and Dak Prescott. It is genuine. Wait, we've had the same MVP, same Super Bowl, same Offensive Rookie of the Year for the NFC, or Player of the Year, same sack leader, same receiving leader every single year. This game sure is something. Before the rest of the players we have to re-sign, there's Bryce Young. That's a 61 mil 5th year. Oh, no thanks. I think we'll just pay him. I mean, he's not interested, but he's been good. Is anyone worth 61 mil? Like, that's a little bit ridiculous. Brian Burns will just offer neutral again and see if he takes it. 4 years, 95 mil. He does. Jeremy Chin, I'm good. We'll see if we can. Well, how has he done? He's done pretty well, right? No. Well, he's had okay pass deflections, but not many picks, just 1 through 3 years. He had 2.5 sacks this last year, but like, I don't care. Taylor Moton, I definitely want back, but like, we'll offer him him 4 years. I don't want to give him 4. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. This is probably the second to last year anyways. We'll offer him 4 years, 96 mil, and he doesn't take it. Awesome. Everyone else back here, I'm going to let go. So we'll tag Taylor Moton. Why not? And hopefully there are some good players in free agency. We will see. But once again, this is actually a decent free agent class. It's just a lot of the good players are not interested. So there's L'Jarius Sneed. I tried to get him, but we can't really compete with the top offers. Kyron Williams is good, but we don't need a running back. David Bakhtiari, same deal. We don't need a tackle. But we're going to go for Geno Stone, Jake Elliott, because we don't have a kicker. Cortland Sutton, which is interesting. I don't even know the last time I've had him in a rebuild. Maybe a Broncos rebuild. I don't know. The last time I did one of those, which I guess hasn't been that long. But Ryan Wright at punter. We're going to go for Xavier Woods to play strong safety, I guess. Patrick Queen and Frankie Louvu. We're going for a pretty big free agent class. But let's see if all these players want to sign. I almost said sign wanna players. And it looks like everybody signs except for Ryan Wright. And it looks like we got almost everybody. The only one I noticed that we didn't get is Geno Stone, unfortunately. He goes to the Steelers. The Rams went kind of crazy. Cam Akers, Trent Brown, Odafe Owe. The Cardinals got L'Jarius Sneed, David Bakhtiari to the Browns, Connor Williams to the Patriots, Justin Fields to the Falcons. That's funny. But Ryan Wright, does he want to sign now? And it looks like he does. But let's get to the draft, and honestly, we don't really have too many needs. We'll see what we want to do. Ooh, also, Cartwright has superstar dev. I was hoping for that, because sometimes these super fast receivers do have superstar, but he didn't develop much throughout the year, so I didn't think he did, but apparently he does, unless he gained it. No, it looks like he just had it, so that's cool. But in the draft, we pick at 28. I thought it was going to be better for some reason, but I guess we did make it to the divisional, or conference. I guess it would have been divisional. I don't know. I don't remember. This looks like another not amazing draft for our positions of need, but I guess what really are our positions of need at this point? The only thing I was looking at really was receiver, and there was one really good looking receiver, but of course he is gone. He was supposed to go like mid round 1, and apparently he did, so that's unlucky. Picasso Dent. These are some interesting names. Everett George. Sounds like a painter name or something. I guess maybe I got painters on my mind from Picasso. I don't know. Whatever. I don't know what I'm going to do with this pick. Antoine Stapleton looks, I don't know. It depends what his medium route is. I always look for medium route for receivers. I guess we could look for a tight end. We kind of need a tight end, but not really. Jesse Lawrence looks really good. We might just take him. Jeremiah Walsh also looks pretty good. He's a little stronger, a little better of a blocker. Oh, he could be better. He's more of a well-balanced tight end. Lawrence is a better receiving tight end, a little bit faster. Oh, this is a really good tight end class. David Harris also looks really good. And we always got to check the linemen. Trey Hall, 44 bench reps, elite acceleration and agility. Normally, I don't like to spend too long on prospects, but maybe this is a really good class. Michael Bayless looks pretty good. Spencer Truman looks really good. Zach Franklin looks really good. This is a very, very good guard class, but we don't need guard. And look at the centers. Kenny Burke, not the best strength, but very good ratings. George Stalker. Again, he's pretty much the same player as Kenny Burke. Clifton Colbert, he looks really good too. Lance Langford looks really good. Damn. I don't know if there is like an 80 plus overall guy, but there are a lot of good ones. And it looks like a very good corner class, but it's always a good corner class. All that being said though, I think we're just gonna take Jesse Lawrence. He's only 21 years old, looks very good. Walsh could be better. It's hard to say. Yeah, it really is just hard to say. But we'll go with Lawrence. Normal dev? Really? Well, we might be going with another tight end. We'll see who's available next round. We don't even really use tight end all that much though. I just dropped my phone. We could also go with Jeremiah Walsh, though. Oh my god. Dylan Roby, too. Looks really good from what I see here. I kind of like Dwayne Bartell. Great speed, elite acceleration, B awareness, B press, B zone, and he's listed as a man corner, so I'm going to assume A man, maybe B. Probably B. Or do we go with a center? I don't know. But we don't need any offensive linemen at all. Bartell at least has a chance to start. I guess maybe a lineman could start if we got someone better than a 78 overall, but that might be a bit hard to do. These drafts have been difficult. Yeah, we'll just go with Dwayne Bartell. I mean, if we can find a good player, we'll take a good player. That's always my strategy. We're just not going to hit a dev trait in this draft. You hate to see it. I think we got 2 good overall players, but just that's unlucky. I saw Langford and Walsh go, the center and the tight end. None of the linemen that are left look too amazing necessarily. Brock Hookland could be pretty good, but I don't know. I might just simulate the rest of this draft out, honestly. Yeah, we'll see what the CPU can do. Actually, the Notice UDFA, Marquise Yates, a deep route. Ooh, deep route might be his only thing. He does have a lot of elite traits. I don't know if he's worth taking yet, though. Cameron Mack at receiver. He looks pretty good. Whatever. These guys won't get any playing time anyways. Let's just simulate this out, and we will see what the CPU can do. And we'll see who the #1 pick was. Okay, well, Jesse Lawrence is horrible. I wish he was a little more scouted, because there must have been something there that wasn't good. Oh, he just has bad short route running. It was listed as an A to C, and it must have been a C. Unfortunate. He is fast, but that's about it. He has all right hands, but not a good blocker, and honestly, not that good of a receiver. Just fast. Unlucky. Dwayne Bartell, only normal dev, but he is definitely a very good overall. He'll be our #3 corner. I don't know who our nickel corner is going to be. He's a 76. He doesn't have the best agility or tackling or strength, but we'll see. And then Zach Franklin honestly isn't that good. He's only a 73. Did I even take him, or did the CPU take him for me? Oh, the CPU took him. He's not that good. Unlucky. Jeff Lackley's decent. Sidney McCutcheon is decent. Like, this is good value. A 72 for the late 5th. That's good. Like, the CPU did pretty well, but I don't think many of these guys are going to play a role. But whatever. This is mostly about the rest of the league anyways, so let's see who the best player was and who the #1 pick was. The #1 pick was an 83 overall quarterback, George Ham. That's rare for the best player in the class to be a QB. I hate his haircut, but 99 throw power, 85 deep accuracy. This guy's good. 84 awareness as a rookie is insane. That might be the highest awareness I've ever seen for a rookie. That's kind of crazy. And obviously the highest throw power I've ever seen. I mean, 99. Ooh, Rudy Patton looked really good, the #4 overall pick. Definitely a pretty strong draft class. It was a little top heavy, but good. So the best player was the #1 pick here. But here we are heading into possibly the final year of this experiment/rebuild. I don't know, we'll see. We might do another year if I have time. But we have built a very good roster. We're at an 88 overall, 89 offense, and now an 87 defense. Our defense is slowly catching our offense. And it's gonna be interesting to see if we have a different Super Bowl this year than Chiefs-Cowboys. I hope so. We need something different. Hopefully we're in the Super Bowl. Hopefully we win it. More than likely not, but hopefully. And we will once again check who are the best overall teams heading into the season. I would guess we're probably 3rd. So the 49ers are also an 88. The Cowboys are only an 86. Like, they're not even the best roster. I don't know what makes them do so well. Like, when I use their playbooks, they're kind of horrible. I don't know. People do say they're good, but just whenever I use them, they're not that good. But the Chiefs are a 91 overall. So they are the best roster in the league. We're tied for 2nd, I guess. So the Chiefs have definitely been deserving of winning the Super Bowl every year, but like it's a little repetitive. Hopefully we get something a little different here. We again had a horrible preseason. Maybe it doesn't mean as much as I used to think, because we had a horrible preseason last year and we ended up being pretty much the best roster or the best team in the league, having the best performance, or tied for it with the Chiefs. But we'll see what happens this year. Should we just get straight to the end of the year? I think we will. Let's get to the end of the year and we will see what record we finish with and who some of the best and worst teams are in year 4. Okay, well, I was thinking we might underperform, but I thought we would do a little better than that. At least we somehow made the playoffs at 8 and 9, but I feel like we were deserving of a little better than 8 and 9. And we didn't even win the division at 8 and 9, and we still made the playoffs. Both the Falcons and Saints did better than us. And we did the same as the Buccaneers, so I guess we're lucky to make them, but I guess unlucky that we did so poorly. This was definitely a season. But hey, at least we're in the playoffs. Bryce Young was... we didn't pass that much at all. Bryce Young was pretty good, just his numbers were low because we only passed 400 times. Christian McCaffrey did well. He didn't have that many rushing attempts. I mean, 300's a good amount, obviously, but I thought it would be super high because we barely passed. DJ Moore led the team with 944 yards. Gross. Ike Ekwonu was pretty bad at left tackle for the amount we passed. Same with Donatello Anderson at left guard. Almost like he's a 91 overall. Patrick Queen led the team with 128 tackles, though TFL's 17 for Bowman, 15 for Brown, 14 for Burns, and sacks. 10 for Frankie Louvu led the team. We had 7 for Derek Brown and 4 for Brian Burns. Why? Why? This was just one of those seasons. But JC Horn, 4 picks, 2 for Queen and 1 for Hughes. Oh, great. We get a Dak Prescott MVP. I mean, at least it's not Mahomes again, but it's always one of the two. But Offensive Player of the Year goes to Dak. That's interesting. It's kind of rare for a quarterback to win it. I mean, I guess it depends on the quarterback, but Dak isn't really a scrambler. Usually that's the type that wins it, if they do. And it looks like we don't really have anyone for awards. Dwayne Bartell at number 8 for Defensive Player or Rookie of the Year. Aiden Hutchinson wins Defensive Player of the Year again. But who did the best this year? It was the Browns? The Browns, Cowboys, and 49ers all went 13-4. The Browns have been terrible, though. I did see their quarterback up there for MVP, which is interesting. The Chiefs went 12-5, so I was going to say maybe they fell off this year, but they're right there in it. Same with the Falcons. And the Commanders were the worst team this year. The Packers were also down there. The Lions, Cardinals, the Steelers, Eagles, Rams, and Dolphins all went. Have the Dolphins gone 6-11 every year? I feel like they have. That's weird. I've definitely had much weirder and worse simulations, but this one finished out really, really strange. 2 teams with losing records made the playoffs in the NFC, by the way. Us and the Giants. We definitely didn't deserve to have a losing record, but it is what it is. But let's simulate this game out against the 49ers. I think we know how this is gonna go. Well, maybe. We might have a chance. And we do beat them 14-10. Okay, in terms of record, that shouldn't have been a close game, but we are almost the same overall as them. And we would have been better had we done well this year, because of morale and development and all that. Whatever. We're going to be taking on the Cowboys in the divisional, unfortunately. Ooh, we get an upgrade for JL Skinner. That's huge. But I think we have no chance against the Cowboys, but you never know. Let's see what happens. And we unfortunately do lose 31-26 to the Cowboys. But to close this video out, let's see who makes the Super Bowl. I mean, the Cowboys are in the conference championship. Are the Chiefs still in it? They are. Big shocker there. And the Chiefs have won both of their playoff games by double digits. So I think we know how. I think that team's gonna make it. Let's see who's in the final Super Bowl. Wow, no way. Chiefs and Cowboys. That's a crazy Super Bowl. Never seen that one before. With how inconsistent this game is, how is it so consistently the Chiefs and Cowboys in the Super Bowl? That is sure something. And will the Chiefs win their 4th in a row over the Cowboys? Or will the Cowboys finally get one? The Cowboys finally get one. 35-28 over the Kansas City Chiefs. I don't even know what to say about that. But this was a really fun experiment / challenge. And again, if you want me to do another one like this, I could definitely do a longer one. I just figured, I don't know how much different of results we're gonna get. I think we might be seeing a little bit of a trend here with the Super Bowls. At least we had a different winner. But I don't know. The way that I have planned could definitely change things, because we may or may not be using those teams. We'll see. So again, 3,000 likes and I'll use these rosters again. Please hit 3,000 likes. These took me so long to create. Plus it helps out the channel, helps YouTube know that people enjoy the video, helps me know that y'all enjoy the video. And again, let me know any fun rebuild ideas y'all have, and if you enjoyed this video, be sure to subscribe because all my videos are like this. And on screen now is probably another video, so if you want to click one of those, be sure to. But if not, thank you all so much for watching, and I will see y'all again in the next video. Goodbye.